Kylian Mbappe left PSG as their greatest ever scorer, then broke Real Madrid's debut season record in his first year, netting 43 goals in all competitions. But scoring goals and thriving at Real Madrid are two very different things.
Let's see if their head is clear and good and if they can deal with the pressure, because Real Madrid is not PSG, I can tell you.
Cristiano Ronaldo made this statement on Mbappe after just a few games in for Madrid. The goals haven't stopped. The Frenchman has more than 40 goals this season. He is the Champions League's top scorer. Yet, Madrid are now 2 seasons without a major trophy, and the scrutiny is heavy. Ronaldo saw this coming 2 years ago, not because he thought his prodigy would fail, but because he understood something about Real Madrid, and that Mbappe is only starting to learn. Was Ronaldo right? And what's next for Mbappe? Mbappe is having one of the most prolific seasons any forward has ever had at Real Madrid, and the evidence is overwhelming. 24 goals in La Liga, 15 in the Champions League, more than 40 goals in all competitions, and is on pace to finish as the top scorer in both Spain and Europe, something only the very best have ever achieved. In the Champions League alone, he set a new record for most goals in the league phase, with 13 in 7 appearances. That includes a 4-goal performance against Olympiacos, where he scored a hat-trick in 7 minutes, the second fastest in the competition's history. In Munich, with Madrid trailing 3-2 on aggregate, in a stadium that hadn't seen a Madrid win in over 2 decades, Mbappe scored, which meant he set another record. He became the first player ever to score 10 away goals in a single Champions League season, a record neither Lionel Messi nor Cristiano Ronaldo ever achieved. And Mbappe was also close to Ronaldo's record for Real Madrid in a single Champions League season. So, when people say Mbappe is the problem at Madrid, here's the irony. In his debut season, Cristiano Ronaldo scored 33 goals in all competitions for Madrid. He was electric, he broke records of his own, but he also won nothing. Real Madrid finished second in La Liga. They were eliminated from the Champions League in the round of 16 by Lyon. They lost 4-1 to a third-tier club called Alcorcón in the Copa del Rey. That was Ronaldo's first season. Sounds familiar, right? Mbappe is experiencing the exact same thing as Ronaldo. The only difference between them is what happens after. A year before any of this happened, Rio Ferdinand sat down with Ronaldo to talk about Mbappe.
What are going to be the problems and what does Kylian Mbappe need to do going in there?
I think you're going to do it well, to be honest, because the structure of the club, you understand, and they have a great coach and the president who are there many years. I think it's not going to be a big issue for him, not going to be a big problem, because his challenge, he show everything what he's capable to do it.
Ronaldo was optimistic. He believed in Mbappe's talent. He said plainly that he thought it would work. But there was something else in that answer, something subtle, a condition buried inside the confidence.
Real Madrid de vez en cuando, sí.
¿Qué te parece?
Porque mi hijo Mateo le gusta mucho a Mbappé.
Mbappé, ¿no?
Sí. Yo creo que todo jugador de fútbol pasa por momentos así, momentos de dificultad.
Porque él está jugando delantero. ¿Le complica un poco más a Mbappé?
Le complica porque él no sabe jugar de delantero, mi opinión. No es que no sabe, no es su posición.
That distinction matters more than anything else, because embedded in those words is the entire stories of Ronaldo's own career at Real Madrid. He arrived as a winger. He was then asked to be a striker, and for the first season, he struggled to make it work, not because he lacked talent, but because he was learning something new. And yes, Ronaldo scored a lot of goals, but so did Mbappe. The talent was never the problem. Ronaldo realized that early and actually solved it.
No es que no sabe, no es su posición. Yo si estuviera en el Madrid, yo le enseñaba a jugar de 9, porque yo no era delantero. Y me acostumbré a jugar de delantero. Yo era banda.
This is the part of the interview everyone shared on social media, but they missed the context. Ronaldo was not criticizing Mbappe, he was describing his own journey. He was saying, I went through exactly this, and I learned, and so can he. The question is whether Mbappe will listen. This is where Ronaldo's warning becomes a prophecy.
Because Real Madrid is not PSG, I can tell you.
At PSG, Mbappe was the sun. Everything orbited around him. The system was built to serve his strengths. The ball found him in the spaces he wanted. The team shaped itself to his preferences. At Real Madrid, the sun had already been assigned. His name is Vinicius Jr. Vinicius operates on the left flank. His entire game, the dribbling, the pace, the cut inside, depends on that specific corridor of the pitch. Move him and you don't just lose his position, you lose the player entirely. Karim Benzema said it plainly before he left. You can't put Vinny on the right or as a centre forward. Where he makes the difference is on the left. So when Mbappe arrived, there was an immediate problem. One space, two players who love the left-hand channel. The solution was obvious on paper. Make Mbappe the centre forward. Give him the number 10 shirt. Let him occupy the space between the centre-backs while Vinicius dominates the wing. In practice, it hasn't been great. Mbappe drifting out of his position leaves a gap in the box that needs to be filled. Coming down to receive the ball requires the midfielders to move forward. And when possession is lost, this is where the problem begins. Because when the midfielders are further ahead of Mbappe, Real Madrid are the weakest when defending a counter-attack. Mbappe himself admitted it on a podcast this season. I'm a player who defends a little less than others, and sometimes that can be a problem. At PSG, this didn't matter. The team was built to compensate. The system absorbed his defensive absence. At Real Madrid, it breaks everything. When Mbappe doesn't track back, Bellingham has to drop deeper. When Bellingham drops deeper, the team loses its most dangerous late runner into the box. When the late runner disappears, the crosses have no target, and slowly the structure collapses. But because of the cumulative weight of 90 minutes, where one player's defensive floor is simply lower than everyone else's, Ronaldo understood this before anyone, and he made sure to say it out loud. The world just chose to ignore it. But Ronaldo also called it something else.
Son fases. Yo creo que todo jugador de fútbol pasa por momentos así, momentos de dificultad.
Here is what Ronaldo meant when he called this a phase. It's not permanent. It is not fatal. It is the same adjustment every great player makes when they arrive at a club that demands more than just goals. Ronaldo went through it, and he spent that entire summer working on something he had never needed to work on before: how to be a centre forward. Jose Mourinho arrived the following season, and Mourinho did something nobody expected. He moved Ronaldo centrally. In that second season, Ronaldo scored 53 goals. He won the Copa del Rey. He beat Barcelona in the final. He became the first player in La Liga history to score 40 league goals in a single campaign. The transition worked, but it required something Ronaldo had to learn. Not just skill, but positioning, movement, and an understanding of where a centre forward is supposed to be. And now, by some strange twist of fate, the man who taught Ronaldo is about to return. Jose Mourinho is well on his way to become Real Madrid's next manager. Think about the timing. The man who converted Ronaldo is now set to build on Mbappe's striker role. With Ronaldo, he took a player who was already brilliant and gave him a structure that maximized everything. He demanded defensive work. He insisted on tactical discipline. He made Ronaldo understand that at Real Madrid, individual brilliance without collective success means nothing. And Ronaldo listened. He became the version of himself that scored 450 goals for this club. And Mourinho will be asking the same of Mbappe. The defensive work was evident against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, but now it's whether Mbappe can do it in a consistent manner. Mourinho will demand. Here's what nobody's saying loud enough. When Mbappe is good, he is genuinely unplayable. In the first leg against Bayern, Madrid were under pressure. Mbappe tracked back. He covered ground which he almost never covers in La Liga. For 60 minutes, Madrid controlled the match. In the return leg, he pressed, he closed down and dropped into defensive shape. Real Madrid looked like a proper unit with that. Luis Enrique talked about this exact dynamic when Mbappe was at PSG. Mbappe is 27 years old. He has over 400 career goals. He has a World Cup. He has everything, except the one thing he came to Real Madrid to win: the Champions League, and probably the Ballon d'Or. And that path to the trophy runs directly through the thing Ronaldo said: the position, the mentality, the willingness to learn something new. Ronaldo was not attacking Mbappe when he gave that interview. He was warning him, preparing him, offering him the roadmap he himself followed 15 years earlier. Arrive as a winger, learn to be a striker, struggle in year 1, adapt in year 2, and by year 3, become the greatest version of yourself. Ironically, Jose Mourinho will be at the heart of things now, and Mbappe is standing at the beginning of the same road, the road his idol took.